Welcome back. Millions of us grew up relaxing our hair, getting that silky straight look from a jar of cream. While demand for relaxers has dropped for a while as Black women embrace their natural curls, it seems to be making a comeback, which could actually be very bad for our health. As new research suggests, relaxers could lead to cancer and uterine fibroids. Now, RBN investigates, are relaxers killing Black women? Like so many Black women, Jenny Mitchell got her first relaxer as a child, chemically straightening her hair at just 8 years old. She continued with regular touch-ups every few months for the next 20 years until she was diagnosed with uterine cancer at 28.
I am the first voice of many voices to come.
Now, Jenny is suing relaxer manufacturers, including L'Oreal and SoftSheen, claiming their products are full of cancer-causing chemicals.
Stand up to these companies and say no more.
In her class action lawsuit, Jenny claims her diagnosis was caused by regular and prolonged exposure to phthalates and other endocrine-disrupting chemicals found in L'Oreal products. Uterine cancer isn't the only gynecological issue linked to relaxers. According to the Black Women's Health Study, so are uterine fibroids.
I just want to be clear that this study establishes an association of uterine cancer with chemical straighteners, not necessarily that chemical straighteners cause the cancer, but there is an association. In terms of chemical straighteners, we believe that they have these chemicals called endocrine disruptors. And endocrine disruptors are different chemicals that can bind to different parts of your body. So we're thinking things like your breasts, or in this case, your uterus and different tissues in your uterus, which makes you more likely to develop cancer that way.
Nearly 80% of Black women will eventually end up with these non-cancerous tumors in the uterus.
Fibroids unfortunately impact women of color, especially Black women, more than any other group. And we think those same endocrine disruptors that are in the chemicals in chemical straighteners promote the growth of fibroids.
Fibroids can grow to the size of a watermelon and cause a range of symptoms, including heavy bleeding, anemia, pain, and infertility. In 40% of cases, the only option offered is a hysterectomy. This surgery removes the uterus completely and makes it impossible for a woman to have children.
Who in this audience has been judged by their hair?
We spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and in some cases, our health. So I'm not gonna go to the gym and sweat it out. I'm not gonna do certain things. And all of these have an impact on our health and our overall well-being.
Sisters, let's talk about hair.
Black women and our hair have a deep-rooted history within our culture.
They put us down, tell us we're ugly, make us feel ugly. Wonderful hair leads to wonderful opportunities.
In the Netflix film Self-Made, Octavia Spencer plays Madam C.J. Walker, the daughter of former slaves, who became the first female self-made millionaire in the U.S. after modifying the pressing comb so it could be used on Black hair.
The Black hair business is a $9 billion business.
Today, Black women spend approximately $1.7 billion a year on hair care products. That's 9 times more than other groups. And by 2026, the global market for Black hair care products is projected to be worth approximately $6.9 billion. Much of that spending is on relaxers.
So there's really 2 types of relaxers. There's lye relaxers and there's no lye relaxers. No lye relaxers do not lead to as many side effects. Lye relaxers are the ones that we've been hearing a lot about. When you get a lye relaxer, you're essentially breaking down the bonds of your hair in order to straighten that curl. And so you're literally breaking down your hair in order to achieve that straight hair.
Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family.
In the 50s and 60s, is when hair relaxers really began to be widespread, because there was a strong desire and need really to articulate that we could assimilate. The 70s and 80s, you see Black people really wearing afros and, putting products in their curls to maintain their curls.
Yes, your natural expression of pride is beautifully expressed with Afro sheen.
The laws in the 90s and in the late 80s were really starting to criminalize Black people. So it makes sense that there was this desire to want to be aesthetically pleasing again.
Recently, relaxers became less popular as Black women started embracing their natural curls. In 2020, 36% of Black women in the United States said they preferred natural hair over chemically treated hair. And sales of relaxers in the Black hair care industry dropped by 26.2% between 2010 and 2015. But according to this data, still more than half of the 21 million Black women living in the U.S. continue to use relaxers.
And this is how my hair looks after. It looks like a mop.
But for many Black women, hair care goes far beyond vanity. A recent study found that Black women's hair was 2.5 times more likely to be perceived as unprofessional. More than half of the Black women surveyed felt like they had to wear their hair straight in a job interview to be successful. And 1/5 of the Black women surveyed between the ages of 25 and 34 had been sent home from work because of their hair.
Deanna got called down first by one of our teachers.
Discriminatory experiences that involve Black women and girls' hair can begin as young as 3 years old.
Your child stinks. Don't put the coconut oil in her hair. The kids were teasing her.
I think I was 4 years old when I got my hair relaxed. At that point in time, looking your best meant straight, relaxed hair. We are starting to create products for people to look like themselves. What a concept.
In 2018, the U.S. Navy changed its grooming policy to include braided styles and locks, which followed a similar decision by the Army in 2017. And in 2019, California became the first state to ban discrimination on natural hairstyles with the Crown Act, leading the way for 6 other states to follow.
For women who use relaxers and still want to continue to use relaxers, even knowing what we know about their association with these various cancers and fibroids, I would tell them that you should make sure you're seeking medical care, that you're getting preventative checks.
As for Jenny Mitchell, she says the long-term effects of using relaxers have left her with permanent consequences after she was forced to undergo a full hysterectomy.
I'm 32 years old right now, and I'm still feeling that void of not being able to bear my own child.